1, 2. We're on?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You're live.
As in, we're live?
You're live.
Live.
As we exist?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a little bit after what our regular start time is, but yet, once again, it is PRsonalities live on Facebook. It is your guest, Konstantin Polyakov, and our special guest, sorry, did I just say call myself a guest? I do have the tendency of doing that, don't I? It is your host, Konstantin Polyakov, and your guest, special guest, Almeiri Santos. Almeiri is the epitome of entrepreneurship. She runs Modern Meditators, which is a very special startup, I would say, and we're going to talk a lot about it today. We're going to talk about her successes in social media and all around. Almeiri, why don't you say hello to our audience, introduce yourself, tell them a little bit, just in a couple of sentences, what is that you do, and some of the accomplishments.
Hello, everyone. Namaste. My name is Almeiri Santos. I am a meditation teacher. The name of my business is Modern Meditators. I work with different kinds of meditation. So I work with love and kindness, breath awareness, mindfulness, and I also teach a very specific technique called primordial sound meditation. And that's what I do. Beautiful.
Well, I don't know very much about any of that. So you have to guide me through it.
I love when people don't know about it. Because, I'm here to bring the light to you.
Lead the way, yeah. I guess when somebody knows a little about it, takes away all the magic out of it.
Not really, because there's so much about it. There's so many different kinds of meditation and so many different ways of being mindful. It's all wonderful that we have this, I would say, mindfulness and meditation being a hot topic.
It's a hot topic.
Everybody wants to talk about it.
All right, so you know what? Let's talk a little bit about, we're going to talk a little bit more about what are the different types of meditation are, maybe. What I want you to start with is just this. So from what I know, and I don't know very much, but from what I know, your business this particular side of the business started earlier in the year.
Yeah, I've been doing meditation for a number of years, but I've never had anything online. I didn't have a website. I had no idea how to operate Facebook and social media or Instagram or none of that. Okay. So that's all the new part of my business.
So before that, you were just primarily doing it kind of on your own?
Yes, and just, word of mouth. And my students and my clients would send me their friends and family, and that's how I was running my business.
So this is an important question. So how did the name Modern Meditators come up?
The whole thing about what I do is that I want people to understand that meditation and mindfulness is for everybody, is for us, for young, for old, and it's for our time. It's not like lost in time and only in the old days we would practice. It's a very modern thing. So
it's not only for the monks, it's for the general public.
No, it's for you and for me and for everybody.
Okay, all right. So, and how did you get into that?
Meditation's been a part of my life for over 10 years now. And I also do a lot of work with energy. I'm a Reiki master, and I also have a training in hypnosis. So it's been going on for a long time. But again, I never thought I would teach meditation. I would do it professionally, and I didn't even have a business card.
All right.
I was just, doing my thing. And also, when you are a healer, like myself, you work a lot in healing yourself. So that process takes a long time until I'm ready to share this wisdom with everybody. So I was doing this I'm a single mother, so I'm the one providing. So I couldn't just jump business. Yeah. I know a lot of people out there have their passion and their things that they want to do, but they have to keep a job to pay the bills. We all have to.
Of course.
So my transition was obviously very careful, slow, and it took time.
I got to give you kudos for that. I mean, again, being a single mom and having to raise a child and carry the expenses and then jumping into a field and trying to start a business, that takes a lot of, So
I'm not alone on that. There's so many wonderful people out there doing brilliant things.
Amazing. Almeiri, so let's, now that we spoke a little bit about how you got into this whole business here, let's talk a little bit about establishing Modern Meditators.
Yeah.
So Modern Meditators as a brand now has its own logo, has its own feel, has its own page, has its own social media following. I find it to be pretty cool. And so, that's it's an interesting topic because, like you said, it's a hot topic. People like to learn more about it because, again, people are now, yoga has become a lot more, I guess, available to people than 10, 20 years ago.
Oh.
And with that,
even meditation.
Meditation comes too, right?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty close match between the two.
Yeah, well, I understand that here in the Western society, we think of yoga as the poses, as the exercise. But yoga is one limb of the whole philosophy of yoga. And so is meditation. So because, I'm always so happy when I see, yoga studios popping up everywhere, because no matter what level people are, it's just wonderful that they are allowing that knowledge to be a part of their lives. And so is meditation. People now are, it's one of the most searched words on Google, meditation and mindfulness. So people are curious about it.
They're trying to learn more about it.
They're trying to learn more about themselves.
That's beautiful. So it's good that we're covering it today, because maybe we'll demystify some of those unknowns about the meditation topic. So going back to our show Bible, I had a few questions I wanted to run through. So actually, taking a little bit of a step back, I started talking about the brand, the Modern Meditators brand. So starting out the brand, there's a lot of different avenues. You have to design the logo, you have to design the website, you have to put out the social media pages. So what are some of the things that you started with right from the very beginning? So let's say, take us a year back.
I can't design a logo. That's not my thing. I know maybe making a website is an easy thing that, they're...
A little bit easier.
Not for me. Not for me. My gosh, I'm horrible at those things.
Okay.
So I found someone to help me, and they developed a few options for the logo, and I picked the one that spoke to my heart. And very simple. I kept it very simple. That was the whole thing about Modern Meditators, to be simple and close to the heart and real, like I am.
Relatable, right? Very relatable.
And then I got someone to do the website for me. And if you're doing your website and if you're a new business, I would recommend to get, nice pictures either of yourself or, just be careful with the image, be mindful of the image that you're going to put on your website. And I did that. I did the pictures with a professional photographer.
Beautiful.
And then got the website up and running. And then I needed a Facebook account.
That's right. Did you have a Facebook account before you started?
Oh my God, wow. I'm old-fashioned.
So you just dove right in.
I knew nothing. Listen, guys,
Beautiful.
I knew nothing. I knew that Facebook existed, but I was not interested. It wasn't my thing. And I was okay living without a Facebook account. Oh. And Instagram was like a big monster with 7 heads. So Instagram, what?
Oh, wow.
So I had to learn about all of that. It was not easy.
No. Well, again, it takes a lot of patience, right?
It does. It is an extra thing for you to do. And if you're running your business and dealing with clients and you have your personal life and the things that you have to do, if you have kids or whatever it is that if you're still at school. Yeah. So that's another thing that you're going to add to your to-do list. So you have to find a way to do it very simply and naturally, and also be very careful to not get sucked into it, because I've heard stories of people, that they can spend hours.
Well, yeah. I mean, guilty as charged. I gotta admit, I audit.
You, I guess.
Yeah, I audit businesses when I'm online. I'm actually very carefully, whenever I scroll through my newsfeed, I often just pick through ads and posts just to see what is everybody else doing. And it's really helpful to obviously put out good content for yourself.
It is wonderful. Technology is wonderful. Yeah. And all these things, social media, they're all wonderful. My gosh, I'm old enough to tell you that I'm from a time where we didn't have a way of communicating with people like the way we have now. So yes, it is wonderful, but it all comes to what you are doing with it. How you were, allowing it to be a part of your life in a healthy way. And that was my biggest concern.
So it's about utilizing the social media in a healthy way.
And I know everybody says that, but how do you do it? And that's my whole thing about who I am and what I do in the meditation business. Yes, meditation is cool. Mindfulness is cool, but is it a part of your life?
Right. And so I guess by following the pages of Almeiri Santos and Meditators, it can become a little bigger part of your life. What I'd like to do right now is this. We were doing a bit of a pre-screen and a little bit of an audit of your social media account before the show.
Yeah.
And I've seen some pretty incredible, first of all, you have great consistency.
I'm happy you like it because I still have no idea
what you're doing. Well, yeah, you must have somebody good who is helping you with it. Because I got to admit,
I wonder.
Brandon, can we just pull that up on screen right now?
Yep.
What I want to take a look at is just the engagement. Because I remember we were looking at earlier, first of all, the consistency of the post. You're posting almost daily, aren't you?
As long as I have something of relevance to share, I will.
Of course, it has to be, you have to have a reason to post. But
sometimes I don't have time.
Yeah, sometimes I have time. But yeah, and I've seen, what I like about your social media is it feels very genuine. And what I mean by that is,
you say that.
There is a lot of accounts online that you will find that post more and more often, and they post a lot more content, but there's very little connection you have with the person behind it. And what I found just reading through a lot of the stuff that you have online, through a lot of your Instagram posts and Facebook posts, there's a lot of that personal touch. And
but that's a reflection of who I am.
That's right.
Here's something for you that, will help you understand the content. When I started with meditation, I went back to school. I did all my certifications at the Chopra Center in California. I am a Chopra Center certified primordial sun meditation teacher. I did the science behind mindfulness at the University of Toronto. I did a training with PhD Rick Hansen in the neuroplasticity of happiness. And all my trainings, my master in Reiki and everything that I do to keep up with my schooling helps me to be who I am and the professional that I am and to help my clients. But my teachings comes from my heart.
That's right.
It comes from who I am. It comes from real experiences in my life, and so does my content. So for me, there's no other way to do it. If that's the message you want to get across to your clients and to your audience or to whoever is going to see about your business online, it has to come from the heart.
I love that. I almost want to quote that after the show. Brandon, can we have a quote put together after this by Almeiri Santos? It has to come from the heart. I think if more of us were using our social media in a way where it came from the heart, we would have a much better social media world.
Well, you're going to laugh about this, but I had a meeting with my family before I went on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And I was going to expose myself. Mind you, I am a person who was never on social media, so now people would know about me, would see who I am, would see my child, would see my life, would see what I'm doing. I take that very seriously.
Of course.
That is being exposed. And I don't understand much about internet, but I know that if once you post it, once it's there, it's there.
It's there to stay. Yeah.
So you have to be very careful of the way you are present. Of course, we are free. We can do whatever we want. But if you care and if that's something that you are concerned about, you have to be very mindful of what is it that you are putting out there.
Of course. I mean, first of all, I think there was somebody who was doing a small study or like a little post online where they were trying to see how far a post can reach just from people liking it and sharing it. And, as we all know, just 10 likes and 10 shares can get you right around the world.
It's powerful.
It could be very powerful, especially delivering a message about something so, I guess, mysterious. Right, because there is still a lot of mystery about meditation because a lot of people still don't understand it.
There's a lot of confusion and mixed up about meditation and religion, and that's why I took the scientific route to it because for me it doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter. Meditation is about who you are right there. It's not mystic. It can be many things, and we all know there are many different schools of meditation, but the bottom line is being here right now, present in this moment, and being connected with who you are.
That's it. That's what
That's
meditation is
it.
about.
You can call it different names if you want, and that's okay too. But for everybody out there who are not interested in signing up for a different religion or, any of that, meditation is for you. It's for you to get in touch with that light that exists inside of yourself.
Beautiful.
Very simple.
All right. Well, you know what? Something. Sorry, I'm just going to take it a little bit step back. We should let's talk about business a little bit more.
Business.
talking about the content. We started talking about how far it can take you, but something that I also have noticed is that your content looks very professional. Brendan, do you want to just bring up a couple of Instagram posts? Have you already do that?
Yeah, we can put them back.
Yeah, just so there is not only just posts of you going out there and talking to your clients, which I also saw there's a couple of entries. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But what I like about your content is that it has you a lot of the time. It has pictures of you. It has quotes. Has a lot of that personal touch where you are posting videos or pictures of you, your daughter, right?
Yeah.
Going out there, being mindful in public and doing meditation in public and doing meditation in different events. And so I felt that is the authenticity that a lot of the businesses are missing, because it's putting yourself, like you said, putting yourself out there and putting yourself out there doing what you're doing, as in meditation being your business. Is what going to drive the traffic through your website, going to drive the traffic through your social media, and will potentially gain you clients.
I think we live in a time that people crave that human thing.
Human touch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And no matter what business you're running, you are still a human, and there's still the human component to everything that we do every day. So I know for me, you might say, yeah, she is doing meditation. Of course, it's easy for her to be, more touch and feely. But the reality is, no matter what you're doing, you have people who work with you. You have, things that you do that are fun in your day in your office, and those are the posts that for me, that will click.
You will click a like. Okay, everybody must be taking notes right now. If you're trying to get Almeiri's attention, and I think majority of, everybody online.
If you're driving a truck, I want to see you.
I want to see you driving a truck.
Getting your coffee, that's a part of your life. And if you're running, I don't know, an office in somewhere far away, I don't know, maybe there's a beautiful sunset outside your business.
Brandon, next time we have a sunset.
I was driving here.
A video
I was driving here. I don't drive here every day. And it was like, wow, the sky is half pink, half blue. That's nice. So there are things out there.
Well, we live in a beautiful country.
Yes, we do indeed.
Named Canada. Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah. And I'm very happy to be also Canadian. Very proud of my Canadian
Very proud to be
citizenship.
Canadian.
Yes.
Same here. Well, actually, let's talk a little bit about community involvement. So we start talking about going out there. Start talking about curating your content, curating your events. Creating and curating, creating the content of you actually being part of the communities. So let's talk a little bit about communities. So what we were doing, we were doing a little bit of auditing of your accounts. And so I know that you were doing a little bit of involvement in medical institutions recently.
Yes, what I do is, the reality is, and of course no one can deny this, the social media, the whole aspect of that for business, it's crucial. It's very important. But that does not replace you getting involved with people, with the ones around you in your community. Absolutely. Or whatever it is that you want to introduce your business to. So I have a presentation. It's an introduction to meditation presentation. It's about 30 to 40 minutes presentation where I talk about what is meditation, what is not, why is meditation good for you, what are the benefits of meditation, how to meditate, what happens during meditation, all those simple things.
Yeah.
And I end the presentation with a 10-minute guided meditation, and I do that complimentary for business that are interested in bringing that concept to their co-workers, to their employees, and that's something that I do. So I go to offices and I go to other business and clinics and communities and community centers, anywhere they want me. And I tell them a little bit of meditation. That for me is like, going out there and reaching out and sharing and being in touch with people in person. That's also
I mean,
very
I
important.
call it the hustle. We'll call it mindful hustle then. The mindful hustle. Going out there and paying attention to the communities around you.
Yeah.
And this is actually something that we talk often on the show. When you're a new business and you're starting in the industry, which may be mysterious and often misunderstood, it's that community involvement that demystifies a lot of it.
Yeah.
Right? Because going out there and talking to these people that are paying attention, I mean, they've already signed
They're
up.
interested.
Yeah, they're
right?
interested. They don't know anything about it a lot of the time.
They want to know.
Yeah, and that community involvement, I find for a lot of startups, is just one of the greatest things you could invest your time into.
Yeah.
Social media is powerful. Social media on its own could be powerful, but social media with community involvement is everything.
Well, I have no budget for advertising or none of those beautiful things that you can do when you have money.
When you're a startup, right? When you're a new business, who does?
I'm me. My business is me.
Your own self. That's right.
So for me, that's my investment. Yes, it is my time, and time is money.
Time is everything.
But that's my investment, and it's also my give back.
Yeah.
So if you're a business and you're a small business and you're just starting, you have no money, have no budget for advertising or to hire people or whatever it is that you need to expose your business. So yes, then go and give your time.
That's everything.
People are very welcoming of you offering your time and offering your expertise.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, that works.
I agree. I mean, this is, again, something that I think everybody kind of mentioned earlier in our show as well. It is really about trading your time for attention, right? I mean, if you are trying, and this show is all about entrepreneurs, all about starting businesses, all about making it. And so I think a lot of people really underappreciate how important it is to get involved with your communities. And it's the involvement with the communities that drives the traffic to your social media pages.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the combination of the two that could really, really lend you that.
And I know that's going to sound counterproductive.
Counterintuitive. Okay, all right.
Be detached from the outcome. Don't say, oh, I'm starting my business, so I'm going to reach out to this and this and this, and then they're going to give me business. You never know.
You never know.
You never know. You have to put it out there, offer your best, and let it be. And you never know how it's going to come back. Sometimes, people go to one of my presentations and they're not related to the business. I never hear back from the business, but I hear from someone who happened to be there. You never know.
Yeah.
So I never do these presentations expecting, oh, now these people are going to give me all these referrals. Of course, that's my goal, and I love referrals, but I'm giving it. I'm doing it. And it will come back to me in whatever way it comes
It's the
back.
natural physical gift economy.
You have to, otherwise, you're going to go and you're going to do 1 or 2 or 3 of those, and you're going to say, I'm not getting anything out of it. I'm going to stop.
Right. Well, I mean, again, it's all about putting yourself out there, and then just watch the door roll in.
It is a good way for you to also meet people.
Yes.
Right?
Networking
and people understanding better about whatever it is, your product and whatever it is that you are offering. You never know. Opportunities always come.
Well, actually, let's talk about this. So you said that often, we'll do a presentation, we'll go out there, we'll put ourselves out, and then maybe the business does not come through, but then some of the people who are watching and paying attention, they start asking questions. So what are some of the most common questions that people ask about meditation?
Do I need to be vegetarian?
I love that. Do you?
No. I'm from Brazil. I'm helpless. I was born and raised eating steak.
Oh, boy.
No offense to the vegetarians. I eat a lot of vegetables.
Is that really like one of the hottest questions? Always, do you have to be vegetarian?
Do I have to be vegetarian? Do I have to? Is it a religion? No, it's not.
It's not.
I don't know. If I'm doing meditation and my mind is racing and I can't stop thinking, am I doing it wrong? There's no way of doing meditation wrong.
I guess it's all just really
You know what it is?
learning yourself.
Most of us was raised to believe that we have to go out there and conquer the outside, the outward. We never thought that the world inside of us is as vast as it is outside of us. And meditation is based upon the principle that once you start exploring your inner space, you expand your understanding of life, your perspective, your level of awareness. And that's why now scientists are saying that it lowers your blood pressure, and it's people believe in stress management.
Of course, yeah.
So it helps you manage your stress because
stress
then
is a big one.
you're centered.
Yeah.
So that's what meditation is. So yes, you probably, if you've never meditated, you're gonna sit there in 5 minutes. You're gonna go like, I can't do it anymore, because it's a training. You are into jiu-jitsu. I know you understand this. You're training your mind. You're training to focus your attention.
Well, anything takes time, right? You can't just sit there and start meditating like a pro.
No. And you should start slowly, like small doses, if that's a big challenge for you. Find the thing. There's one rule and one rule only in the meditation that I teach, that it's supposed to be comfortable for you. So you sit there. You don't need to sit cross-legged or long, none of that. You can if you want, but you can also sit whatever way is comfortable for you. And every time your mind wanders, bring it back to your meditation.
I'm going to admit this. I don't know how to meditate. But
I know someone who can teach.
Oh, good. But you know what? I gotta admit. So I was doing a tournament this past weekend. Okay, I was doing a jiu-jitsu tournament, and in between rounds, in between going on the mats and off the mats, I lost my breath. I got a little bit lightheaded, and I don't know much about meditation, but I know that if you just sit back and you pay attention to your breathing and you pay attention to your body, and you let that body, and you just close your eyes for a little bit, and you concentrate on your breathing, you can restore and kind of, not so much heal yourself, but restore.
You just defined meditation.
Did I? Restore your ability to just kind of get up and go. And so, again, I don't know if I was meditating. I was just simply trying to catch my breath and trying to close my eyes and bring my breathing back. So I'm going to guess that a lot of it has to do with breathing, right? So meditation is very breathing concentrated.
Yes, and nothing will bring you more into the present moment than your breathing. Because once you start paying attention to your breath, which is consequently paying attention to your body, you are right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
You're no longer in the past or in the anticipations of the future.
You're right now.
You're right here, right now. And what else do you have? The cells of your body only exist in the now. They don't exist in the past or in the future.
Well put.
They're only here right now. So, that's probably the biggest challenge for everybody out there who's wanting to be more mindful and wanting to get into meditation, is that once you stop and you say, I'm going to set the time and I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes, then you realize, my gosh, my mind is really busy.
Yeah.
And if that's the only realization you're going to have, so then be it, because that's a very important one, because you probably never noticed how busy your mind is.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, especially if you're in the business world and you're trying to make it, right?
With all kinds of stress. Even if you're starting your business, my goodness, you want me to tell you how stressful that is? It's one challenge after the other.
Something to take away, I guess meditation really, truly is for everybody. It's not just in the middle of it's not that you're fighting in the middle of the battlefield and then you have to restore your power. No. It's also just trying to catch your...
And here's another thing that is very true to meditation. Like any diet, that if you eat salad once a month, you're not going to get skinnier. Like any training, if you go to the gym twice in 3 months, you're not going to get stronger. It's the same with meditation. You start introducing that as a way of living, as a lifestyle. And it becomes a part of your life, it becomes a part of you, and it's not supposed to be a struggle.
And it's just a turn on, turn off button. Anytime you want it.
And you will feel, you meditate for the benefits of it in your life. You don't meditate because you're going to close your eyes and dream in Technicolor or have some kind of... That's not the thing.
That's not how it works?
That's not how it works.
Okay, well, listen, why don't we just go back and talk a little bit more about the business here.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about the questions that people have and what they're looking to find out when they are clueless about what the topic is. Connections. So I was just, again, we're doing a little bit of an audit of your accounts, and so I was noticing you were also doing videos with, I think, your existing, do you call them students? Meditation people that learn from you?
Her interviews.
Interview series.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, no, sorry, that was the interview series, that's right. So the interviews, I think you were doing with businesses that...
Yes.
You work
My
with?
thing with that is I believe that mindfulness is a part of our life and it's supposed to be a part of everything that we do. If you start believing that you're only mindful when you're going to the studio to do your yoga class, or you're only mindful when you go to a meditation studio to sit there for 30 minutes, that's wonderful. But the thing for me is to bring it to your life. And those are the interviews that I'm doing.
Okay.
How people in real life that are not into meditation, that are just running their business, just doing their thing, how they can be more mindful. How can they bring mindfulness to that, and how that will improve and change their life in their business, in the way they interact with their customers and their clients. So I have done like a butcher, I've done a coffee shop, I've done a juicery, because that's just people doing their thing every day. So how can you be more mindful in that? How can you invite mindfulness into your life? That's what the interviews are about. I think that we have the last one, short clip on Instagram about the one at the Butcher by Nature. So
How did you think of that? How did you start that?
Because that's my life. That's the story of my life. That's like, okay, how... you can't just do something and that's one separate thing that you do. There's no separation. It has
Just
to
all one
be. It has
big
to be who
thing.
you are. And so gratitude, compassion, whatever it is that is related to being mindful, that is a part of you every day. So I want to bring that to people so they can exercise that.
It's just impressive that somebody who didn't have a Facebook account just a year ago is just pounding on the social media.
I do have one thing in my favor, and now I understand how much that is in my favor. I am a journalist by education. I have worked as a journalist for the longest time of my life.
Oh.
And, my transitioning from working as a journalist into holistic, that's why, it took long. But I do understand communication.
That's a very interesting set of skills.
Yeah, I've worked in TV and radio stations and magazines and newspapers.
It was here?
I've worked in Brazil, in Europe, and in Canada.
Wow.
So for me, I do have that background. So it was just, yeah.
It was natural.
I do everything myself. And then I grab Brandon to hold the camera and film it. And then he operates his magic. So, see, none of us is as good as all of us together.
That's right.
I don't have the skill set that he does. And I am eternally grateful for meeting Brandon because he does help a lot.
Beautiful.
I can only do so much. That's the thing about being an entrepreneur, running your own business. You can only do so much.
There's not enough
And
time.
you have to find people who are good at things that you are not. Don't go looking for people that are like, I like so-and-so and so. That's not going to work. You need those who are completely different than you.
That's right.
So then you can work together.
I like that. So I guess another lesson to learn from this interview, guys, is delegate what you cannot do well. Because if you can delegate...
And find partnerships with people who are good at what you are not.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if we only use our strengths and we completely forget about our weaknesses, sky is the limit.
Yeah.
Right?
But lots to learn.
Lots to learn every step of the way. Listen, I'm just really super impressed with your content. I was browsing through it earlier, and it's the combination of everything that you're doing on Instagram and Facebook and the videos. I love it.
I'm glad you do.
I honestly...
Half of the time I have no idea what I'm doing.
Very few people are investing as much time, as much effort into it, and it's just impressive the kind of level you guys are at right now. And I mean, there's plenty of followers, and people are, commenting and engaging with the content.
So here's a suggestion, or you know, for those out there who are running their business and want to have a presence, to put their business in an app on this social media thing. Look for things that mean something to you in your business, whatever business it is that you are doing. Look for things that are meaningful to you. For me, when I take a picture of, like my daughter, she's a happy child and funny. And we were going to the market, the local market, and she's like jumping up and down because it was Saturday. When I saw that, I said, "That's a good one."
That's a good post.
That was a
right
good
there.
one. But it was just a natural, and it was simple. She was just jumping because she was happy because, of course, it's because there's no school and no homework. But let's not get into that. But the thing is, she was happy, and that 10-second video was a nice post.
Absolutely.
Or when I finally had my orchids coming back. Have you had any orchids that came back? You know, you buy an orchid and then they last for, I don't know, 2-3 months, and then they die and that's it?
Yeah.
That was the story for me. But one of my orchids came back and gave me like a bunch, and I couldn't believe it.
Oh, wow.
And I picture. And it was like a lesson for me, and like, trust that it's gonna come.
Trust it's gonna come. I like that.
And then it came.
Beautiful.
And it was beautiful. That was a nice post as well.
I guess it's also recognizing what is of value, right? Because
Yeah.
those sound like very memorable moments that, again, somebody could have just went right by and not paying any
Yeah.
attention to.
Yeah.
So I guess mindfulness was there as well.
Yeah, so hey, if you're a new business and you want to be more mindful, I'm here to help you.
Hey, I actually, yeah, I would recommend. Listen, guys, if anybody who is watching, you guys there's a lot of people who are entrepreneurs starting new businesses out there. I mean, this could be a great introduction, right?
Yeah,
And
it does help a lot.
It could help, yeah.
I have clients in big stressful positions, CFOs and CEOs of big companies, and I have kids. There are my clients that I
Yeah.
teach meditation, and I have psychiatrists and psychologists that comes because they also have very stressful jobs. So all kinds of people
all kinds
come.
of walks and people.
And I will work with them in the level that they are at.
Mm-hmm.
So it obviously is not, one size fits all. It depends on the
Yeah,
person.
I'd say actually athletes probably could really benefit from that
I
as
do
well.
work with that as well because I come from a little bit of a background and that very, very
Sports.
into sports.
Yeah.
And I know how much it's not, I didn't invent it. It's not a new thing that we know that athletes are very mindful and focused,
Yeah.
and they use a lot of visualization, and that's how mindfulness.
Yeah, I mean, as an athlete, again, I can speak for it, I guess, firsthand. Knowing when to listen to your body and paying attention to your
Yeah.
breathing is just so much, right? And so maybe, I mean, we have some people in the audience here who are athletes, I believe, as well. So maybe if you guys are interested, do get in touch with Almeiri. We have all the contact
Especially
information
if you are
below.
into jiu-jitsu or
Especially
rugby,
if
because
jiu-jitsu.
that's my dream. I
that
want to train jiu-jitsu and rugby players and being more mindful. I just
like that.
and fighters, UFC. Can you imagine if I had a fighter that I could teach him how to?
I think it could be pretty successful.
I would love
in keeping his composure and
Yeah.
and keeping the head straight.
It requires a lot of focus.
100%. I mean, any sport requires focus, whether it be chess or whether it be jiu-jitsu or rugby. It focuses everything, and if you can achieve that focus by being mindful, I think could get you quite far. So you know what? I have only a couple of things left here in my Bible. What do we have here? Oh, we're going to talk a little bit about engagement. So in 2017, in the age that we're in today, social media is not only a source of content, but it's also a way of people finding services.
Yes.
And so maybe just, I guess what I wanted to do is I just wanted to wrap it up into this last little bit here and just give our audience a few tips on some of the things that over the course of the last year you found to be very, very important about being active on social and about being active online. Someone who is new to this whole game, right? You just did this whole thing over the course of the last year. We talked about how it's important to get the right people to help you with it. We talked about how it's important to involve yourself in the community.
Yes.
And we talked also how it's important to put authenticity into everything that you do. And so somebody who is watching right now and somebody who is starting out their business, those three things were so very important. Is there anything else we want to add to them that would be just put a little bit cherry on top to finish this interview? We talked about
I am new to it. I know very little. I know there's a lot for me to learn, but I'm not giving up. I'm not willing to be the master of social media. I got no time for that, and not is not what interests me. But at least I'm doing it.
So it's
I'm doing it the way I know, and I would, to anybody who is interested, I would say, do it the way you know, even if it's a simple beginner level like I am. At least you're doing it. It's for your business. And then you see, don't get frustrated with the things that you don't know. The moment you are ready in terms of budget, then find someone to help you. That will help a lot because it takes a lot of your time, and if you don't have that time, if you're running your business, doing everything,
learn all
it's very
yourself.
important to look for help. But do it your way. Don't give up, because it is frustrating. For me, social media is frustrating. I don't know. I'm poor Brandon. I am like, oh, you were an angel. You would laugh if you see some of my questions too. But Brandon, which button do I press? I'm not even exaggerating.
Listen, I mean,
so that's me, and he thinks I'm good. So there's hope.
Hey, I mean, it's all inequality. It's all inequality of the result, right? I mean, again, so let's just sum it up. So we talked a few things. I always like to wrap our show with a few tips for those that are looking to start their own businesses and get out there. So we spoke a little bit about community involvement, as always.
Yes.
So very important. About authenticity of what you do.
Yep.
And also, like you said just now, it's all about sticking with it.
Yeah.
And not giving up.
Go out there, get a good website. Don't invest much money on that if you don't have the budget, but get something that is decent, because that's what people are going to see.
That's right. It's your face.
Yeah. And careful with your posts. Post things that are meaningful for you and for your business. Keep it simple. Don't try to, keep it simple. Look for help in social media, so you're not, completely clueless.
I believe it is, yeah. And the other thing as well, right? So it's just all about sticking with it, and just, again, it's not a sprint business. It's not a sprint business. It's a marathon. If you're trying to win the marathon, you just have to keep on running.
And don't compare yourself to other people. Everybody's doing their thing. You never know what kind of budget other people have.
That's right.
Or if they know more than you, who cares? Don't compare yourself. Don't think that your stuff is not good enough.
Another quote, Brandon. We have to.
Your stuff is good the way it is.
Don't compare yourself. I love that.
It's easy, right? Because you go online and you see all this. Oh my gosh, this Instagram.
All these people have all these likes and all these videos.
And the Canva thing that he tried so many times to help me learn. I don't know how to use that, and then I see Instagram that, oh my gosh, this looks really nice. Yours is yours.
That's right.
And it's beautiful the way it is, and it has the uniqueness of whatever business you're.
Love yourself for who you are, I guess, right? Love what you're doing for what it is.
And call me for mindfulness.
And call Almeiri for mindfulness. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a slice. Almeiri, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure. Namaste. This was Almeiri Santos, Modern Meditators.
Thank you very
Ladies and
much.
gentlemen,
Namaste.
right there. Please follow. Like, share, subscribe. I think her content is truly unique. If you're even just looking for somebody who is doing an incredible job with their social media content, you should be just following just for that alone, even if you don't care about the meditation at all, which you might.
Incredible job.
Right? So I really highly recommend you guys check it out. I think her social media campaign speaks for itself. It's very consistent, it's very clean, and I think you guys will find quite a kick out of it. This is, as always, has been your host, not the guest, Konstantin Polyakov, the Pocket Broker. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. 2 weeks from today, we see you again. Cheers. Thank you for watching. That was PRsonalities. And we hope to see you in 2 weeks when we get to shoot yet another episode of this show. Meanwhile, you should probably like, share, and follow all of our social media accounts. That would be Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, where we will be posting a slightly better version of this exact same episode. See you soon. Bye. What are you doing here? Who is producing the show?